Hey gang, welcome back to 31 Days of Halloween. This is day number 15. And today we are talking about the 1979, I was going to say, I almost slipped up and said classic, but dogs. Don't pet them. Fear them. Same dogs repetitively over and over killing people. This is another Animals Gone Crazy film in the essence of the Birds and all the other films that deal with crazy animals. Starring David McCallum, who a lot of people my age and older will know from Man from U.N.C.L.E., the original TV series. New edition people, nowadays people, younger people, and even people my age. It's a very popular show, NCIS. He's also known as Ducky. He is the medical examiner. As soon as he's on screen, you can tell he's obviously a lot younger, but his accent and just, you can tell right off the bat. I didn't even really have to look it up. George Wyner, also another name in there. Also, as soon as he came up, I recognized him as Colonel Sanders from Spaceballs. But he's that guy that you see in everything that you really can't say, I know that guy. What's his name? He's one of those guys. The character actor does a great job in this film. David McCallum does a great job in this film for what they have. 1976, a film about a college that is having issues with this plant that is not a plant that goes out of the ground, but a engineering plant that has something to do with electricity because their power keeps going off, and apparently it's caused the native dogs to go crazy. Now, this is everything from giant Doberman pinchers, growling teeth, to little furry what the fucks, and they're all just attacking people at random. People try to hunt them down because they're killing cattle. Those people get killed. It does have some good practical effects for a independent film. It does have an okay story. It tends to drag. There was a couple places where, like, McCallum and his girlfriend are escaping dogs. They go into the garage, and the dogs keep beating on the door. Apparently, they're stronger than normal because it's one dog jumping on a door that has a doorknob. Okay. So he goes, gets a piece of wood, breaks it in half, they go up, and he's nailing the board to the door, 2 boards. We watch him put every nail in those 2 boards. I understand you nailed the fucking door shut. I mean, literally, there's like a 2-minute segment of this guy nailing a door shut. Between that and having that's just an example of what I'm talking about. There's a lot of scenes that just drag on to, okay, we get it, let's go. And the one thing that stands out the most is probably 8-9 times in the film, when the dogs are relevant and they're not around and they're looking around like, where are the dogs? There's this howl that comes out, and it reminds me of old, I don't know, 60s and 70s TV shows that introduce horror sci-fi, the crappy B titles. I'll just throw it out there. When I was explaining this to my son, he's an Elvira fan, I'll use that one. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. She introduces movies. This is the kind of thing you hear. You hear this, ho, ho, in the background. And it's really, really hokey. It's almost like a a Scooby-Doo adventure sound where they're hunting a werewolf. That got on my nerves a little bit because none of these are wolves to begin with. And I know some dogs howl. I have a dog that howls. But this was just so bad. The chemistry between everybody in the film is really off. You don't know, you literally don't know if anybody likes each other or they don't like each other. You finally get together with McCollum and Werner, and you realize that they are just kind of playing off each other, laughing and joking. They are friends. You get that sense later on, but at first it's like, does anybody like each other in this film? But other than those small things, and even that's a dynamic of a film, the character interaction, it doesn't really matter because it's mostly people running from dogs or people getting eaten by dogs. For an independent title in 1976, I don't expect a lot more than this. I did enjoy sitting here watching it. I did enjoy yelling at the TV like, okay, let's fucking move on. You know, it was one of those movies that people relate to called popcorn films. This is one of those. I had never seen it. I had it on my shelf for a very long time. Bought it at a pawn shop for $1 a while back, which I do a lot for horror that I've either never heard of or have wanted to see. If you can find it cheap or it pops up on a streaming channel that you may have, which I doubt it would even show up on stream, maybe like Crackle or something. Check it out. It's worth a watch, even if you like nature attacks kind of films, animals go crazy type things. The dog on the front, of course, which I think the one thing that appealed to me in the very beginning is this picture. This cover art is very almost 80s VHS cover. That dog is just amazing. We have the big tagline on it. We have the one guy at the time that matters at all selling this film. No idea why he was in the film. I'm sure after, some of the other stuff he's done, this wasn't needed. I do a little bit of trivia when I was reading up on it, and it's in the film a little bit that they kind of reference. I'm not going to ruin that for you. Well, I will. Probably not going to watch this anyway. At the end of the film, when everybody's taking off and going to the hills or whatever, saving themselves, they pass a cat, and the cat's like, and then it like still motion, like it just freeze frame, and then keeps going. Then credits roll. There actually was a sequel thought of. This film did not do good at all. The sequel, of course, Cats, was dropped, and we'll just have to put our minds at ease of that. So yeah, definitely take a watch if you have any chance to see it, or if you have seen it. I'd love to hear what you think about it. I actually kind of did enjoy the film, and I will probably watch it again. So until then, guys, see you tomorrow.